Hello, chess people. Subscribe to the channel because if you don't, my mustache will wither and die. That's out of the way. Now, I would like to go through some of my other games from this recent tournament and analyze them because I have a lot to learn, clearly. These games are not perfect. It's very likely that you play games that are not perfect since you're human. But we're always striving to be better, right? So, let's go through this game and see what we can learn. This was the second round of the TCA Region 1 Championship in Lubbock. And I had the white pieces against the highest rated individual in the room. Rather intimidating. Now, I didn't know it was the highest rated individual in the room at the time, which probably influenced my choice of play psychologically. Because, I just looked at it as, all right, I'm going to crush this guy, right? I'm going to crush this guy. Get in the game, step in the driver's seat, close your eyes, and hit the throttle. All right. Don't drive like that. You'll hurt someone. No, drive with your eyes open. Play chess with your eyes open too. So we started with d4. Okay. And in my mind, I thought, all right, let's see what this guy wants to take this towards. So if he played d5, I was going to play the Queen's Gambit. But knight f6 was his move. Lots of options here. We could continue classically with c4 going into everything under the sun. I could play knight f3. I could play a London, bishop f4, right? But I chose bishop to g5, the Trompowsky attack. The idea being we're going to eliminate this knight, double the pawns, and bring the knight out, castle queenside, go for an attack. Okay, I love systems like this. It's fun, right? He goes for the Fianchetto defense, which, as it's called, is starts with the Fianchetto. And he's basically going to treat this for the rest of the game like a King's Indian defense. He's going to play d6, get the bishop out, castle. The knight can go to d7 or to c6, and we'll see what happens with this bishop. Knight f3, we've transposed to a Touré attack. And not much is different, right? Touré attack is just knight f3 and then this, but all these systems are very closely related, so don't dwell on that too much, right? This is a perfectly fine way to play. There's plenty of 9,000, 10,000 Grandmaster games start out like this. Knight c3 is committal because we block the c-pawn. And oftentimes we're going to do this because we're planning on castling queenside. And this knight c3 move is to naturally build up to the lovely move e4. So that's in the near future. Knight c3, castles, queen up to d2, very simple plan. I want to trade off this bishop. So when he makes this Fianchetto, he's saying, all right, my bishop is the best defender of the king right now. And in my mind, I say, okay, I don't like that. I want to throw my bishop up there and trade it off, and now you're going to have this hole in the king side here. So I want to remove that vital defender of the king. So once we castle, I can push this bishop and we can trade. All right, d6, very, very, very conservative approach here. It allows me to get in the crucial move e4. d5 would have been a little more ambitious here, stopping e4 for the time being and giving black a little more space in the center. But d6, okay, treating it like a King's Indian. I could play e4 right away. I probably should have, but I did not. I can absolutely get away with this. There is plenty of support for it, right? So probably should have played e4, but I castle queenside. We want to just castle, get out of dodge, right? Okay, bishop f5 with long-term pressure here. Also watching over that vital e4 square that I will not shut up about because it's important. He wants to stop e4. He wants to stop e4. Now, if I'd gotten e4 in, it would have stopped his move, but I didn't. So now I have to figure out a way to get rid of that bishop. I kind of have to backtrack. Knight h4, attacking the bishop. That's the reason I played it. We know the knight on the rim is dim and all that good stuff, but the reason is I want to kick that bishop back and then play e4. What do you know? Just like that. So now look, lovely center pawns. This is sort of like a King's Indian without our c pawn or a perk defense almost. We're sort of transposing into a lot of things here. The knight comes to c6, which allows my bishop trade here. People may be tempted to play d5, but this is not nearly as solid as you would think. The knight can jump to a number of places. This is fine. This is fine. I mean, the knight's fine. The knight can even go back, and it's fine because it opens up this c pawn. We wouldn't want this as black because it really just begs for this. You might say, well, what about what about that? What about that? Well, that's covered, right? What about that? Well, that's not fun, is it? I mean, this knight's very uncomfortable, right? And what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back here? No, it's ridiculous. So that would be tough. But I didn't play that. I played bishop h6, and he doesn't want to take because that's just helping me out, right? Like, look, I got my knight over here doing some nasty attacking, right, on this king side. If he takes and allows my queen in, well, that's just gonna help me. So he pushes e5, and I take. Remove the defender, right? And he takes back. So now my plan is shifting, and long term I'm thinking, okay, I want to crack open that king side like a can of sardines and pick at it like I'm at a crab feed, right? Well, crab, sardines, two different things, but I want to crack it open like a crab leg and get the meat inside like I'm at a crab feed, right? God, I always get hungry playing chess. This is why. So I'm going to crack open the crab legs, right? Okay. Push d5, and he jumps forward to d4. Very strong knight. Very concerning knight. So back goes the knight to try to dislodge this lovely knight here, hoping he will take, because then I get a nice open file for attacking. I'm actually fine with double pawns here. It supports my center, and like I said, I can attack. I can throw this pawn up the board, crack open this structure, and we're sitting pretty, right? In comes the bishop. Says, no, sir. Now you may not take here, and if I take, I'm going to have two attackers. So add another defender. He takes the bishop. He could not resist taking the bishop pair, which is fine, but honestly, I think I would have taken the knight here, like this, and I would have preferred this, of course, but I'm not allowed to make moves for my opponent that I prefer. So he takes the bishop, and I take back with the queen, clearly. And now let's notice something. This is his light squared bishop that's remaining. I have these pawns on light squares. If he ever moves, I'm going to get out of dodge, and I'm going to play f3, and this bishop's not going to have a thing to do. Not a thing. Okay. h3, run away, bishop, right? Back with the knight. Why to h2, though? Well, oftentimes we make maneuvers with our knights. It's not often we get to the final destination we're hoping for in one move. We'll get there in 2 or 3 moves, and you'll notice every time you move your knight, it actually switches colors. So I move from a light square to a dark square, and I'm about to move to another light square, which you may notice is g4. And I've got ideas here in my head of getting a knight here and taking on f6, or if he takes, I could take with the queen, I could take with the pawn, I could use the open file. I have ideas I have designs of attacking here, right? So he breaks with c6, rather slow. If he takes, I will gladly take back. However, I do not want this knight to exist. So knight g4. Reason being, if I take back with the knight and he takes, I have to take, and my pawn will be weak, like this, right? Let's see. So, for instance, here, there. I don't want this. This is gross for me. It's bad. So, I want to get rid of that knight. So we take the knight first. for the vital reason I just explained. Now we have a tempo on the queen. And very strong knight. Plus, we're going to push f3. This is going to be very strong. This bishop's not doing a thing. So, queen goes back, f3. Just like we all talked about, right? Oops. f3, f3, f3. Sorry, folks. Let's see here. There we are. Okay, back to the present moment. In comes the bishop to dislodge the knight. I don't want that. It's a great knight. That's a strong knight. Plus his bishop's not doing a thing. But if I move it back, it'll seem kind of like a capitulation, right? So I move the rook up with intent to double. If he takes, I take with the rook. Rook to the open c file. Very, very dangerous on the king, right? So rook h to d1, doubling as intended. The rook comes down to defend the pawn. We see all the pressure, right, building on this pawn. Okay. Now, a move that I somewhat regret. Rook c3. Why do I regret this? Because there was such a simple error in my calculation. I thought, oh, simple. He's going to take, and then I'll take with the knight. He doesn't have to do that. He took here first, so I don't want this weak pawn, right? So I took with the rook, and then he takes, doubling my pawns. Okay, you earned that one, right? That's my bad. This is a completely equal position, though. Dead equal. Dead equal, dead even. I think I even offered a draw around here, and it was denied. This is a draw. Any day of the week, it's a draw. Now remember that because it's about to not be a draw. So, how to continue? Well, black really wants to hammer these weaknesses. So, queen d3 defending. Rook overprotecting the d6 pawn so the queen may move. Very good. What to do? What to do? Okay, rook b7. What's the idea? Well, the plan is I want to get a queen here, target this twice, but that's not the only thing I'm targeting. Chess is full of symmetry, right? Triangles, lovely triangles. Look at this lovely triangle. Boom. Let's see, 3 colors. Boom, boom. The Trinity, right? Here we go. So I want that lovely symmetry. I want to attack the queen and the king at the same time, make things uncomfortable. Unfortunately, I'm not in time because of a6. And if I go back like this, he's just gonna advance. He's just gonna keep advancing, or he's gonna play this anyways, right? So all the way back to b3. Okay, b5 anyways. Queen d5, blocking the advance of the pawn, and long-term pressure here. Okay. Queen b6, very scary, very scary. Trying to get into my position, destroy all of my business here, and if I could just walk in here and hide away, this would be less scary because now I think I can do something like this, and if he takes, I can do that. That's kind of cheeky, right? Let's see. He can run away, run back into the position here, and now I can just start going, right? I did not spot this idea. Did not spot this idea. We tend to get tunnel vision, right? So I didn't play king b2 prophylactically. I played a4. Okay. Why did I play a4? I'm still obsessed with this idea. I am just obsessed. I mean, completely obsessed with this idea. I want to attack. I want blood, right? I want violence. Attack. Fix bayonets. But unfortunately, he can give this check now, and I'm forced to b2, and he takes. Okay. Relax, right? What to do? What to do? Well, he doesn't take. Fortunately for me, he makes a mistake. He should have taken, but he didn't. Instead, he takes on a4. Now, what I can only assume is hoping this is going to be more worthwhile for him than it is for me, but this gives my idea credence right away, right? So rook b7, and this guy is getting close. It's getting very close. It's very scary. But it's going to be okay because he has to defend. He has to bring the rook back to defend. And now I can take on d6. He takes on g2. And I take on e5 with a check. All of a sudden, it's looking okay, right? Now I really didn't know what to do. I defended this pawn, of course, knowing this pawn would fall. There it goes. And now I'm thinking, all right, I got these pawns. I got this rook on the 7th. I've got my queen still. His pawns are doubled, isolated. All right, I have to throw this pawn up the board like a battering ram. So he makes an excellent move, offering the queen trade. If you want to completely kill an attack from your opponent, offer a queen trade. That's what you do. So I don't want to take this right away. It'll fall right into his hands, right? So what can I do? So I'm thinking, all right, I can play f4. And when he takes, I'll take with the pawn, but then I'll have doubled pawns. No, that's bad. I could leave it. I could play rook to a7. Then when he takes, I take with the pawn. Well, that's kind of ugly. So, you know, we're going through this in our heads, right? And finally, I decide on this. And after he takes, I take. Preserving this pawn here on e5. Continuing to attack this pawn. Rook e8. Takes. 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 h5. Devastating. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Passed pawns. Connected passed pawns with a, you know, outside passed pawn. Devastating. Phone call. 1 minute. Hi, I'm back. Hello. So, h-pawn running, sprinting, Hussein bolting down the board. Terrifying. What do you think, kitty cat? Yeah, absolutely terrifying. If he was awake, he'd be terrified. So, relax. What to do? Keep calm, chess on. Blockade. Ha! You shall not pass. Well, fortunately, he can get the king in. So I foresaw this this thing here, the king coming to g5. Think about that for a minute and see if you see what I saw. So now I'm thinking, all right, what can I do? I gotta get this pawn up the board. I have to. So I thought if I push c4 right away, he'd go here, and that'd be bad. So king b3, king f6, c4. And I thought this was his move. I thought this would be the one, right? But it turns out it helps me, right? And so let's go through this. Because this looks like a draw, right? What's a natural move here? That seems natural. This gets taken, but this advances. Think about something else. Maybe this. Kicking the bishop, right? Just keep going. What if he takes? Keep going. See the problem? Okay. Let's go through something else. So if this takes, okay. Give a check. Go after that. Okay. Get up there, right? Takes. Okay. You know, we have kind of a standstill here. What do we do? Because this can't be supported. We're cutting off here. We're cutting off there, right? King d7, hoping to get out of my own way. Check. Okay. All right, now all of a sudden, g3. Uh-oh. What now, right? You tell me. It's ugly. So, cats are fighting. So, very tough. And this is what I wanted you to see earlier. When the king comes to g5, we have this super awkward check. And it turns out, black is way ahead here. Black is way ahead here, but why? Now, this didn't end like this. The notation stopped here because my opponent and I were down past 5 minutes. Or he was, and I think I was at 10 minutes. He was at 5 minutes. So when in USCF, when you get below 5 minutes, you can stop. You stop writing completely, right? We had like 40 more moves after this. Most of them were queen checks and king moves. So, oh, phone call. 1 moment. Why are people calling me asking if I want to sell my house? What would I record my videos in if I sold my house? No, I don't want to sell my house. Stop calling. Okay. So we're under 5 minutes, right? And 5 minutes in the game there. Okay. And no notation because it takes too long. It's only game in 40 with 5-second delay. So 5 seconds, not enough time. So this is what happened, right? He's winning here. He's just winning. Why? Okay. He can stop this. Let me show you. Not here, obviously, right? Devastating. Devastating. I'm too far away. He can stop this. But what happened in the game? He tried to push. Now, watch what happens when he tries to push. The only reason I won this game is because he did not calculate this whatsoever. And if he had taken one of his 5 minutes, he would have queened before me and I would have resigned. But we got to this position, and it's my turn. It's my turn to check. We got here, right? And I just start gobbling pawns. And then he starts checking. And yeah, we chased each other around this board for what seemed like eternity. And then I won. I shouldn't have won because he was winning, but I won. I'll take it. So, time under pressure. Time under pressure. Tough. Just stay with it. But what did I learn? What did I learn? Well, I learned what I learned in boating school is play e4 immediately. Do not allow this awkward doubling. And if I allow this awkward doubling, do not allow awkward queen infiltrations. Make prophylactic moves, you'll be okay. Allow the nonsense, and you'll be okay. And you get counterplay, right? Also, practice playing with time pressure because you're going to be under time pressure. That's what I learned. So, I hope you learned something from this. Mostly that my games aren't perfect and I have stuff to improve on too. So, keep calm, chess on, be nice to your kitty cat, or dog, or bird, or lizard, or whatever you have at home. Your hermit crab, take care of each other, be nice to birds, eat your vegetables, keep calm, chess on. Take care.